It's fascinating to me that you don't think it's Sam Raimi.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't. I mean, it is esque. It has his DNA slightly, but it's not. Again, I'm trying to scrutinize the claim that everybody's making of like, yeah, he's back in form, baby. Like he did the Marvel thing and now he's back. Like, I don't really see that. Do you honestly see that in this? If so, that's fine. I'm just curious. Do you honestly think that?
What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
Hey now, what's up, gentlemen?
Ahoy.
Yep.
Hello, audience, listeners, viewers, whatever you might be doing.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Harsh Language Podcast. This is episode number 167 on this most holy of days, Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 6-7. Does anybody have an explanation for like what that means or no? Some like weird Zoomer shit.
I think it's a cult, and we're all a part of it at this point.
I don't want to flame anybody, but Zoomers are like painfully unfunny people. I gotta just say it. Like,
I don't know. That's true.
Their memes are bad. Like, I know maybe like some millennial ones weren't as good, and I just appreciate them because I am one. But man, some like just saying a thing and then being like, get it? Like the irony of it is that like nobody. I don't even understand. Like, what is funny about it?
They're bringing edgy back.
Yeah, for sure. Just stick with physical media. How about that? Leave the comedy to other people.
6-7 is pretty funny when they.
Is it though? But like, why?
It's just one of those things. It's just funny. When like they spaz out about it, that's when it's funny.
Oh, that I've not seen.
Not when they try to casually do it, but when they like
Yeah.
lose their mind and do it is when it's funny.
I haven't seen any of that, so I can't say.
What's Up was pretty funny there for a little while.
Yeah, that was good.
And that's pretty cringe too when you think about it.
You think so? It is.
Yes.
It is kind of cringe. I did always think it was cringe, so I'm ahead of the curve. I don't know about you guys.
But you laughed.
Nah, I didn't. What?
Oh, he didn't laugh somehow.
Just now? Or like
No,
Ever.
I'm saying.
Oh, at
Ever
that
at
no,
it was,
I never actually really did. I always
No
did kind
way.
of. I really
Now
did.
he's saying he didn't laugh.
I really didn't.
There's no way.
I've always found it kind of stupid. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about Send Help today, folks. That's right. The Sam Raimi comeback, baby. We were excited for this one. Stick around for that to hear our thoughts on it, and perhaps share your own thoughts on that. How has your week been, gentlemen? What have you guys been up to?
I actually had to travel for work. I forgot to tell you guys this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to travel up to Omaha.
I figured
Midwest.
you were just ignoring me
Wow.
when I send all the messages in Discord.
Yeah, I was in Omaha I traveled for 2 days, and then I was in Omaha in the office for 2 days.
Omaha,
Nice.
Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Did you fly there?
I did.
How was that?
The flight there was cool. The flights back were bad because of the storms in
GSA
Chicago.
lines.
Oh, were you freaking out?
Nah, Chicago they got ground. I think it's called a ground stop or something.
Go O'Hara.
Weren't you afraid to
Yeah.
fly?
Me?
Yeah, you used to be.
Oh yeah, when I first flew, that was my first time flying though.
Now you don't care.
Nah, it's whatever now. It's just like riding a bus.
Now let me ask you this question: Did you watch?
The dreadful part is going through the lines at the airport and waiting to get on the plane. Flying's really not.
It actually wasn't that bad.
Now the
in
worst part
RDU,
is definitely being
and,
trapped inside a tin can in the sky that defies the
Yeah.
laws of physics. So,
Oh
yeah.
no, that's I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Wright brothers.
Shout out to Flight.
Once you figure out that you're not in control, it's good. Life's good.
You just let Christ
You
take
can go
the
out
wheel.
like that.
I
Yeah.
mean, we're all
I don't
just
wanna do that.
molecules spinning out of control in space right now, anyways, aren't we?
That's true. Yeah.
Exactly. See,
Have you guys?
the sun could blow up.
Nah,
tomorrow.
that
Yeah.
won't happen. But did you watch?
No. Okay.
Not for 8 billion years or so. Did you
Yeah,
watch?
that's what they tell you.
Micronovas are a thing.
Excuse me.
Micronovas are a thing.
Did you
Mm.
did you watch Send Help before you flew or after?
Oh, it didn't matter. I was
Good
thinking
question,
about.
good question.
I was thinking about Denzel Washington doing barrel rolls in the plane. I was like, damn, that would be cool. Like, imagine.
What movie are you talking about?
Flight? You don't remember Flight with Denzel Washington? Where he got drunk. He was like a
No, I haven't seen
addict.
that one.
Oh, wow. That's like 2010s.
Mm.
Have you seen Flight, Dusty?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite,
Yeah,
probably
watch.
Passenger 57. No, Wesley.
Passenger 57. I don't think I've seen that one either.
Wesley Snipes, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that.
So your trip
it's
was good
classic.
though overall? Stress free?
Yeah, it was cool.
Why'd you have to go?
Yep.
Like just work, like random work shit, or?
Yeah, just to work, basically meeting
Like why'd you have to
people
be?
that I've been working with.
Oh, okay. So it's like mandatory.
No, they asked.
Oh, all right. That's cool.
Yeah.
How long did you go for?
2
2
days.
days in office and 2 days traveling.
Not too
Yeah.
bad. Not too bad. How about you, Dusty? How's your week been?
It was pretty good. Yeah. Didn't do a whole lot of interesting stuff, but
If I remember correctly, last time we recorded, you said you were going to see Hit Project Hail Mary, right? After we recorded that day?
yeah, it was good.
How was it? Good?
Yeah, good. Very good.
Is it
Yeah.
as good as everybody's saying it is? The world
Better
is
be.
Sure.
the world is sort of freaking out about it.
It's not my top movie of the year, but it's good. Definitely worth a watch. You should see it for sure. It's a great movie. We should talk about it, but
That's an interesting point. What is your top movie of the year? Because the year is only a little bit over 3 months old.
well, if you want
This year?
spoilers, we're about to talk about it
Really? This is your favorite movie of the year? Okay, so we'll save it. We'll save it.
so far.
We're gonna have a.
We haven't watched many movies from this year, right?
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's still early in the year.
It is. Okay, so it was good though, but it's like a little overhyped, is what you're saying.
Probably a little bit, yeah.
Okay. This is gonna be a controversial episode. Did you
Good.
watch? Did you guys watch anything else this week? Anything good going on out there? I haven't watched much.
Shrinking.
Yeah. We got a news story
Um,
about shrinking, Marvin. It's exciting too.
Mhm.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
about it. Did
I
you guys?
finished Paradise too. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's right. You've been watching that. Nice.
I gotta finish the last
Pretty good.
episode of that.
Nice.
Sadly, it's the finale, season finale. So we gotta wait probably a year or whatever.
Hey, shows
Mhm.
have been coming back quick though. I've noticed. Have you guys noticed that too?
Yeah.
We're like past
Second
the
Grove.
like. I feel like we got a little bit cheat. I mean, well, we know we got cheated, but like it was like you don't really
2 or
think
3
about
years between seasons there for a while.
it.
It
Yeah,
was
because
hard.
it was COVID and then the writer's strike. And then there was
Mhm.
like another writer's strike. So it was now we're back to
Yeah.
form. It's like shows are just popping out like left and right. I was surprised that Shrinking was back when it came back, and now it's over. Now the last episode's coming out this week. So imagine that. But yeah, I didn't watch too much this week. However, what I did watch, I don't know, did you guys watch the Supergirl trailer? I had posted it in Discord.
Mm-hmm. I watched it when
Yes.
it came out a few days ago.
Yeah. Boy, am I fucking excited about that movie. I think that movie is going to be incredible. You recently read it, Marvin.
I did. Is it Woman of Tomorrow? Is that the one? Or
Woman of Tomorrow, yep. What do you think? Having the book fresh in your memory. I don't want to do any spoilers for the book or the movie, but they are going down a specific plot direction from the book involving crypto, which I think is interesting. I didn't think they were going to do that.
I didn't think they would show that on screen either.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. We recently talked about colors before, and it's kind of a little depressing to see this trailer just because of how vibrant and beautiful the artwork was in that novel.
You don't think the trailer's vibrant?
I don't think so. It was a little dark and darkish.
Really?
Well,
in
we've
that
talked.
Guardians
Yeah,
of the
like,
Galaxy tone.
They've
Which
they've
Guardians of the
darkened
Galaxy
everything.
is
Nothing's
still a
vibrant
little
anymore.
more vibrant than other stuff, but it's still like just
Yeah.
gritty.
It's
It's a little gritty.
that's space grit. What were you saying, Dusty?
Yeah, space.
But you don't get that Wizard of Oz or Willy Wonka color, vibrant, just bright in your
Right.
face color. Everything's darkened and toned down to be gritty and
Well, yeah, to be fair.
grounded.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it looks
Grounded.
fairly colorful though. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but that's interesting. I didn't even think of that. Interesting.
Just, I mean,
No, I'm not.
Hard to compare it to a graphic novel, but
Yeah. Well, I mean,
definitely way more.
I mean, it's not. It's certainly not Watchmen. Shout out to Zack Snyder, who just desaturates. He just he lives life in black and white. I think he's colorblind. That guy. He's just like, fuck it. Everybody's got a color because Watchmen. You've never read the book, but Watchmen like specifically uses color as like a narrative device.
Right.
There's like 4 or 5 colors in Watchmen in total. And Zack Snyder was like, not having any of that. I don't think this
the black and white movies that just use red.
Yeah. Well, that was really like Sin City.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a big Sin City thing. That's interesting. I didn't think about the color stuff.
I think they use as much color as they could for the current state of media, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like we talked about last week or week before, like, they don't shoot on film anymore, and they specifically shoot desaturated because they're shooting to be watched on smaller screens, which is easier to watch with desaturated colors, and a lot of other different reasons. But I think all that said, I think it actually from the trailer, it looks nice, I think.
Yeah, the trailer was great.
We'll see what because they also there's probably a lot of like final touches they have to put on it before the movie comes out in June. So like Superman, when Superman trailers were dropping, one of the criticisms that it was getting is that the color grading was weird, but the color grading changed with each trailer that had come out, and then the final movie doesn't even look like what the first trailer looked like. So we might be in store for some changes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Crypto thing, no big spoiler if you've watched the trailer. Crypto gets poisoned, and this is basically a John Wick story on a timer. Like, Crypto gets poisoned, and she's like, "You're my only friend and the last remnants I have of my home. And, like, now I have to save you and also up the people who put you in this position." And I think that's an effective story to tell because, A, we all love dogs and animals and pets and companions, and B, we just as an audience became close to Crypto. Like, so fuck you, James Gunn.
Recently. Last July.
Yeah, last July we became friends with Crypto. So now we're all like, I cried. Did you guys cry at the trailer? I cried. Oh my god, did I cry?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so you guys are.
I knew it was coming, so I didn't.
You guys are cold-hearted.
He looks a lot different, though. I forget his name. This villain in this story. Yeah, but he looks a lot different from the graphic novels.
Krem of the Yellow Hills. He looks a lot like the in the comic book. He looks like the Civ 6 character, the Scottish guy. What's his name? Not the Scottish guy. The Gal. The Gaul leader.
Yeah.
The Gout.
The redhead guy. He just but the comic book. So in the comics, Krem and like the little girl's like homeworld is more like archaic, I guess is the right word for it. It almost has like a medieval vibe to it. But like in the comic book, they'd never seen like a spaceship before, like Kara's, and like, so this is clearly going in a little bit of a different direction where it's they almost look more like Krem looks more like a space pirate, basically.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Like what's that guy with the nails in his head?
The priest from Hellraiser.
Yeah, Hellraiser.
Yeah, it's the priest. That's his real name. Pinhead is
priest,
as fans have come to know him, but it is the priest.
Yeah.
It's interesting you mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy because people who I guess want to shit on it are using it looks like Guardians as like a negative, which I think is ridiculous. like oh, it looks like the best comic book movie trilogy of all time.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. What are you talking about? It's just such a dumb criticism. It's like, oh, it's James Gunn doing James Gunn stuff again. It's like, yeah, he made like the definitive space comic book movies, so like he set the standard for like what it looks like. Just like Star Wars 50 years ago set the standard for what space movies look like back then, and like, it's just, I don't know, the internet. Dusty, what are some of your thoughts on this? You excited for this one?
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking forward to it for a while. I wasn't sure if they would go down the Crypto line, but I had a thought well, at the end of Superman, she comes and gets Crypto. So I felt like Crypto would probably be
Yeah.
a leading storyline in her movie, but I wasn't sure if they were going to go that route.
The other thing a lot of people are talking about is everybody's boy, Lobo, looking good.
Jason Momoa.
If anybody was born to play a character, that was born to play Lobo. He looks just like him.
And he's a fan. I love these castings. If you're a fan of the character,
you should be allowed to do it. Shout out to Henry Cavill for getting over constantly.
Or Channing Tatum got a shot at Gambit.
He'll get his shot again, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it looks really good. And I don't know, her story is just like super compelling because it's like so different from Superman's and like, she's Tom King, people don't really like Tom King a lot. And I remember you had a criticism of the book too, Marvin. I'm pretty sure you said you felt it was a little bit wordy.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Which is like one of Tom King's biggest criticisms that people give him is that he is a lot of times verbose, and people don't like the fact that he oftentimes changes characters to suit his stories and not the other way around. But with this one, it works, and it's a dark story. Like Kara she literally witnessed Krypton's death, and it's
right.
It's just it's a really sad story, and it's going to be interesting to see how they pull it off. And Millie Alcock looked like she's doing a really great job of it just from the trailer. Like she's really selling that heartache, and that part in the trailer where Krem is like, "Your eyes are so pretty when you cry." Like that shit is dark.
Yeah,
he looks like he's going to be a good villain.
I'm certain I'll probably shed a tear when I watch the movie, but yeah,
I'm going to be a wreck.
The trailer has satiated me. I'll probably try and avoid much more media from it if I can, because I just want to go in and watch it.
I cried from the end tag that is advertising Superman Day coming up on April 14th. It said, celebrate whatever. I forget what it says, like Kara and Superman's super family and the Hope. Oh, I'm going to get choked up. The Hope.
Kara and Cal.
It was like the Hope something and adventure that they inspire or something like that. Oh my god. Oh, the Hope. I don't remember what it was, but it made me cry. I'm a weak person. What do you want from me? But yeah, great trailer overall. One of my favorite parts of it. It was actually such a little thing. I don't know if you guys really gave a shit about it, but I did, and I was just like, but on their little Skype call in the beginning, the trailer opens up with Clark and her FaceTiming kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And he's obviously being Clark, and he's like, "Hey, listen, I think, he's like, I'm just worried about you." He's like, I'm worried you're not going to find your people spending so much time off world. But the Skype call on the screen, it says Clark, not Cal, not Kal-El, but Clark, which I thought was really awesome because it ties so well into his movie and the story that they were telling about him and who he is in this DC, that he is Clark Kent first and foremost over everything.
Right.
And it serves her character because it alienates her even more that she was never able to be human, right? And she has nowhere to fit in. And I'm not 100% sure, but from the trailer, that one scene where she's laying on the bed with the headphones and Crypto looks like he tore up a pillow or something like that. I have a feeling that's at the Kent home, and Clark was like, "Hey, why don't you come and stay with me for a little while?" And maybe he's trying to introduce her to
give her a glimpse of humanity.
Yeah, give her a glimpse of the life that he got thanks to Ma and Pa Kent. And yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling that that's gonna be the case, but yeah, I just love the fact that she calls him Clark, because she's Kryptonian and everything, so you would think that she would call him Cal or Kal-El or whatever, but no, he's Clark. That's his identity. I love that little nice little tidbit there that I really liked. But yeah, Supergirl comes out in 2 months, June, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one. Looking forward to it. So, you got fingerprints, Marvin?
Yep. Always got some kind of smudge of grease and shit on it.
It's really true.
Never fails.
I don't wear glasses, but I have blue light blockers, and every time I don't even wear them because every time I wear them,
you have them in the case for 3 months. Take them out. Damn.
I don't even touch them. And
I just did that.
Just collect fingerprints somehow.
Skunk.
I got readers, and I don't have to use them very often, but when I do, like I pulled them out at the grocery store, and I was smudges all over them. I was like, "What the fuck? These have been in the case for a week and a half."
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yep. As he's cleaning up. Yep. Yep.
Oh man.
Folks, Dusty used to do video game journalism, and now he muckrakes for you guys and gets you all the good movie news. What do you got for us this week, Dusty?
Yeah. Sometimes actors share the same frustrations as fans, and they're not afraid to talk about it. We just talked about the lack of Spider-Man in Marvel's Kingpin storyline, and Vincent D'Onofrio himself is sick of it. He said Sony and Marvel need to get their shit together and make this fight happen.
He did say that.
Obviously, he understands it's a complicated rights issue himself, but he acknowledges the absurdity of it anyways. I appreciate and applaud him for this. Bravo, Vince. Because he said this in response to a fan on social media. He's like, yeah, they're stupid. They need to get their shit together. This is dumb.
Yeah. He's not just a small time actor either. Like, he's a fairly prominent actor in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So the fact the fact that he's
big guy.
Big guy, yeah. The fact that he's throwing weight around like that, I mean, it's not like a huge deal. It's not like he's going to start a revolution or anything, but it is nice to see an actor as prominent as him kind of like backing up the fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say I don't think this is the first time we've ever seen anything like this. I believe Mark Ruffalo has been not as boisterous, but adamant that he would love a solo movie, even though I think it was Paramount or Universal owns the Hulk.
It was Universal. Who the fuck knows what it is now?
Yeah. So that's why the Hulk doesn't get a solo movie. But it's just not the first time. It won't be the last. Maybe he's powerful enough in this situation to make something happen, but we've seen before it doesn't really change much on the corporate level. But it's good to know that he's in the same boat we are. We want this shit to happen.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Kingpin and Spider-Man is like one of the biggest villain hero battles in all of comics.
Right.
If you ask anybody to name like the top 3 or the top 5 Spider-Man villains, you got Doc Ock, you've got Kingpin. I mean, then you could go anywhere from there, but those are at least going to be 2 of the top 3 almost every time. So I don't know.
Yeah, so this post is actually I don't know, the post is actually kind of funny because it was from the origin was from a Marvel Updates tweet from an account called Marvel Updates. It says Charlie Cox says John Bernthal will not return as Punisher in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. He was gallivanting with Spider-Man the entire time was the quote.
Yeah, they were gone. Yeah.
So somebody said, are you serious? After all that trouble to write him into the story, they're writing him out? There's quite literally no reason he would leave in this current conflict. You're telling me Frank Castle, #1 corruption hater, left when Fisk was in power?
Yeah.
Guy's got a point. And then Vincent D'Onofrio chimed in and said if John wasn't busy making his own hour-long Punisher film and hanging with that insect, we would have wanted him to join us in Season 2 for sure. Yet he had a wonderful opportunity to do the other projects, and I, for one, can't wait to see him in those. And then somebody replied with that insect, quote, we need that matchup ASAP. And that's when he said if Marvel and Sony get their shit together.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man was somewhere else in the world, saving the world.
He's just not in the neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah, the neighborhood.
But the guy also makes a good point about the Punisher, and I understand that he's out filming his own thing or he's out filming Spider-Man, but like make it work, man.
Yep.
Like
just make it work.
John Cena appeared in Superman for 14 seconds. It wasn't a big scene.
Yeah.
You telling me you can't get them to come in and film maybe like 1 episode?
Samuel L. Jackson showed up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a couple times.
Wow.
It's in everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It's definitely frustrating as a fan to see because they're like, you're just dropping the ball. Everybody complained with Superman. I mean, nobody really complained. There's just haters about Superman and like, oh, it's overstuffed with characters. It's like, yeah, that's what you want to see. It's a comic book universe.
Yep.
The movie was about Superman. Very much so. Those characters just serve to stand in contrast to him, but it does world building. It's like, hey, these other heroes exist. Look, they're owned by some corporate guy, and they don't even give a fuck about the hero work, but they were inspired by Superman to intervene in a genocide or whatever. Like, it's just very simple world building stuff, and it doesn't have to be a lot of it. You know what I mean?
It's just frustrating because this is it's basically a micro civil war in New York where you have this martial law. We're gonna kill and or incarcerate everybody who is mutant or vigilante, and nobody. It's just like, yep, Daredevil's got it. Nobody else gives a fuck.
Yeah,
he's the only hero that gives a fuck about the city of New York.
Yeah,
right.
Besides Karen Page.
Yeah, it's actually really frustrating. It's really frustrating as a fan because again, this has been an ongoing issue. Okay, Loki, they paid to have what's his name in there. Okay, cool. Who else showed up in Loki? Nobody, really. I couldn't even tell you. I can't even remember. And it's like, and the only time other people do show up is like Dusty said earlier, is characters that nobody cares about, and they don't do a good enough job making people care about them. And they only show up in an effort to sort of like market the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, with Superman, at least this is my opinion. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. If we never see Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, I can't remember his name, Guy Gardner, or Mr. Terrific ever again, it won't affect like the universe. Like, I'll be upset because I liked Mr. Terrific. I would love to see more of him. I would love to see more of Hawkgirl, but if they never show up again, it is what it is. They serve their purpose in Superman just to world build. Whereas,
but James Gunn is the type of guy that would give you that fruit in the movie, even if it's a conversation in passing. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Hey,
that's exactly what I'm saying. Where Marvel does the opposite. The only time we see other characters is to promote the next thing, but the next thing hasn't even come yet. We saw Kate Bishop 5 years ago or whatever in Hawkeye, the show. When's she coming back? Oh, and Young Avengers 20 years
from now?
There's
dozens of Marvel Easter eggs and teasers that never came to fruition. Even in credit scenes, some that we got, nothing happened from those.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where the fuck is Howard the Duck?
Yeah, that's what the world wants to know. Where is Howard the Duck? God damn it. So yeah, I don't know. This is an ongoing issue. Thank you, Vincent D'Onofrio, for standing with the fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, what else we got?
Sterling K. Brown recently confirmed what most people suspected. It turns out short seasons aren't a creative choice. This is a
scam
choice. Yeah, I wouldn't say scam. I would say it's a reasonable economic decision, even though us, the fans, suffer from it.
Yeah. I like Sterling K. Brown. For those of you that don't know him, he was in Black Panther. He was in American Fiction, which we watched. He was great in that movie as the gay brother. And he's in Marvin's current favorite show, Paradise. Yeah, he recently was talking on, I don't know what platform this was, maybe Instagram. I think it's Instagram. But it was pretty insightful because, you know, obviously he's an insider. And as this tweet here that I have up says, like, he understands the economics of show business as both an actor and a producer. I think we were recently I think we were talking about it here, or I might have been having a conversation in my real life with somebody about the 8 to 10 episode season model of shows. Now, I'm pretty sure it was on the podcast that we were.
Yeah, we've talked about it before.
It's whack because you can't really tell a story in eight episodes.
When we talk about the X-Files or old shows that we love, we talk about how we love that was like 30 plus 24 to 34 episodes.
And I recently was complaining about it with my aunt specifically because she watched Scarpetta, and I had told you guys I watched Scarpetta, and it was a good show. It's not the best show in the world, but whatever. But it is a good highlight of this issue because like the whole season was like pretty good, and then the last episode was like just bam, like it just got to the point, and I was like, holy, I had like whiplash. I was like, this episode felt so rushed, and my aunt said the same thing, and I was like, wow, they could have like. Too bad they didn't do like an extra like 1 or 2 episodes just to kind of flesh out the plot. I noticed with Shrinking has an 11 episode season this season, which because I thought last episode I knew it was the 10th, and I was like, oh, is this the finale? Because it had finale vibes to it, and I was like, oh, I guess there's one more. But 8 episodes is just not enough to tell.
That's how they do it, though. That's
a solid
the penultimate
story.
Episode is usually the best one.
No, it wasn't even just best. It just had like a finality to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have watched it yet, but
I have.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of stories we say all the time on the show here, it's like, oh man, that would be better as a show. Well, man, that'd be great as a show. Well, the reason we say that is because you have amount of time to flesh out a story and tell it properly. It's why Harry Potter, the show, might, regardless of what people think about the casting, probably going to be a really good Harry Potter story because it's able to flesh out a lot of parts of the story that you just can't tell in a 2-hour movie. So
yeah, probably so. I mean, the books obviously,
of course,
do a great job of that too. But yeah, I think
but 8 30-minute episodes is a 2-hour movie. It's the same thing. So you have to ask, why are people pitching different things? Like, how do people get 2-hour movies and how do people get 8 30-minute episodes? Because it's the same thing.
Well, 30-minute episodes.
Is there
really
a tax
short.
reason?
I don't know. But Sterling K. Brown, he responded to this issue. I don't like the 8-episode season. I was okay with 10, but I even didn't like that. I want X-Files, baby. I want like 28, 30 episodes. I want to be
6 40-minute episodes. Yeah, it's.
I mean, X-Files does technically have like a lot of filler, right? Like a lot of those are just.
Who cares? It's good though. The filler is the shit that's great.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
but
still
even
building character and like rapport with the characters.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and even with 10 episodes, you get filler, and that sucks. Because then it's like a wasted episode. You're like, oh man, like what the fuck. And
that's just bad.
That used to happen with The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead also had like you can maybe look it up, Jamie, but the early seasons of Walking Dead, I don't remember how many episodes they had, but I do remember their filler episodes was always like, oh man, that was a waste of time, because like now you're like, oh well, that's wasted episode. But anyhow, he addressed this on Instagram, Sterling K. Brown. And I guess it kind of is what we all suspected. It's just interesting to hear an insider say it out loud. He said cable and streamers don't make money on more episodes, but networks do. Network is all about advertisers. The more shows you have, the more ads you could run, the more money you make. Premium cable and streamers make their money off subscribers. So it's not about how many shows do you have. It's about how many new shows do you have that make people want to subscribe to your platform. So if they did more episodes, they don't necessarily get new subscribers. But if they come with something that's new and shiny that makes people say, ooh, I want to see that, then they're building their subscriber base. The only thing that could change it is if fans actually stop subscribing and mandate that these platforms make longer seasons. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. It's not about
somewhat agree with that.
It's about growing the subscriber base.
Yep.
But I also somewhat disagree with it.
All right. Tell us why.
Yeah. Well, because you got places like Prime and Netflix who are trying to run ads like when you pause and everything else. So it doesn't matter if they're producing new shows or the same show for the 1,000th episode. As long as you're pressing play and pressing pause, they're getting their ads in.
Well, that's just a bonus for them. So now they're making ad money and subscriber money because they know the game. They're like, oh, we hit a gold mine.
Right. So while I agree with his point in how the process developed is like how networks, I understand why networks did what they did, and I understand why streaming did what they did. But I think we're getting to a point where streaming is trying to get to the network advertising model almost, where they can just play ads whenever, wherever.
They're going to go beyond that. I mean, listen, if you think about the evolution of advertising, right? Like, commercials have always been annoying. It's just something you dealt with when you watched cable TV. You're like, oh, it's a commercial. But do you remember back before like streaming really got popular, how bad commercials got? And everybody used to complain about it. It was like you'd get a commercial every like 5 minutes. And so a 30-minute episode of a thing was now like, I don't know, 20 minutes when you factor in.
Commercials peaked in the 90s.
Yeah.
And the 2000s, they got a little cringy, and then they just got bad.
Yeah. If
but
there's
also like episode length, even if you watch a 45-minute show on Netflix, you're only really watching a 30-minute show. You have 2 or 3 minutes of previously on, then you have the 1 minute credit, and then you have the standard credits, and then you have the 13 different international credits that they roll at the end.
Yeah.
So you're not watching 45 minutes of, you're watching 30.
And back to praising Vince Gilligan and Pluribus or his other shows. When you watch Pluribus, that's like actually a hour. It feels long.
Yes.
You're like, oh man, wow, we got a good chunky episode here.
Yes. Media episodes are the best.
Yeah,
sure.
It's just different. So I don't know. I mean, listen, again, I don't even care if you want to show. I mean, I do care about showing me ads, but if I have to see ads, at least like I care about story over everything, and like I just don't think you could tell a good story in 8 episodes. And so, like, why are you shrinking it down so you don't have to pay a couple extra dollars to produce 2 more episodes? Yeah, it's of course why. But it's like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just it's just so stupid. But this was.
I think that comes down to the economics of pitching a story.
Dan. Yeah, director's cuts of shows now.
Oh,
because you pitch a story and you're given money and you're funded for X amount of episodes or X amount of dollars, and you got to fit it in. And if you run out of money or time, you got to make it work. And sometimes that's what happens.
Right. No, I get the reasons why. It's just I don't know. It's just lame.
Yep, it is.
It's lame that this is the world we're in now, but it is what it is. But it was nice to see somebody really address it. Same with the Vincent D'Onofrio thing, right? You don't often get a lot of people like kind of speaking up about stuff like that who are part of it.
True.
What else we got?
Okay, well, we're learning Shrinking was apparently pitched and produced as a 3-season arc focusing on grief, forgiveness, and moving forward. And with that storyline now reaching its planned conclusion, it's seemingly time for a creative reset.
Yeah.
Apparently, you worded this as something that's never been done. I don't know. I think it's kind of been done, but it's.
Well,
I guess the way they're doing it is unique.
I said Shrinking is about to do something that no show has tried in years. I'll explain why, but what were you going to say?
Oh, well, I was just going to continue on with series co-creator and showrunner Bill Lawrence. He revealed the quote-unquote risky season 4 will take the cast in a new direction rather than ruminate on the same narratives of the original story arc. So rather than conclude the story and not go on with the series at all, they're going to continue it in the season 4, but it's a creative reset, same cast, same characters, but not the same story narratives.
Yeah, so, it is interesting because most of the characters are going their own ways.
Yep.
Like all of the characters, basically, besides
we've seen them heal.
So
yeah.
It's very interesting.
The reason I said shows haven't done this in years is because one of the golden rules of TV shows now, aside from 8-episode seasons, is, hey, you've run your course. 3 seasons is usually enough, 3 to 4 seasons. Sometimes you get 5 and that's the end of it. But they're saying, no, we still have more story to tell with these characters. And I think that's awesome because I can't remember the last show that did something like this. I guess you kind of disagreed with me. What do you have in mind? What example do you have?
So I would say basically every show does this, except they don't necessarily purvey it in this way. When a show is pitched and reached its destination and the network wants to keep going, you generally have to pivot. You have to do a new storyline. And this, we kind of saw this. I mean, I guess we saw this a little bit in Yellowstone, but you could argue the strikes and stuff had something to do with that. But there's, I mean, almost every show when it's pitched, there's like, hey, there's this story. Even if it's just one season, you get to the second or third season, they're like, okay, well, we got to do something different now because we've run this story into the ground. So I think these creative pivots are not uncommon. And I like it, but I'm also concerned because this is when series get stale, is when the original story is over and you try and pivot to something else, and that story is not as good as the original idea, and it's just, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, but why I think this is different is because this show had a specific goal.
Yes.
Like, hey, we're telling a story about grief and the different ways that manifests, and like the different ways that people deal with it or overcome it. That story has reached its conclusion. Most shows in that way would just end. We told the story, that's it, it's over. Well, now they're taking the same characters, and it's going to be like, well, hey, let's give them something different to deal with now.
Yeah.
So that I don't think is, I can't recall a series that has done that. Yeah, of course, series change all the time from season to season. Like, you get new stories introduced, but this is like a whole structural shift, it feels like.
Right. Well, and usually, like, so let's say like something simple like Jack Bauer 24. Yeah. Every season is a different day and a different year and a different time in Jack Bauer's life. And different things happen, and most of it's unrelated. So you have to keep people entertained by generally escalating, and we see this in movies like Fast and Furious. If you're not escalating,
gotta go to space,
what you're telling them, then they're not paying attention and they're looking at their phone. So when grief and loss, which is in therapy, probably the worst thing you could go through.
Yeah.
What other story, what other, I guess, thread can you pull to keep people coming back, I guess, because they can't escalate when there's nothing worse than grief from loss. So how do you keep people entertained with a different therapy storyline? I'll be fascinated to watch it. I'm a little concerned, but I'm not, I guess, worried because it's a great story and a great cast. So those are my thoughts.
What do you think, Marvin?
I don't think this comes from a creative place. It's probably just like, oh, the show's just doing well, so we just got to keep it going.
That's probably part
TV
of it.
wants another season.
Like, I can't imagine they just all of a sudden came up with a brilliant idea when they planned out 3 amazing seasons.
Don't you talk about my man Bill Lawrence like that, Marvin. He's a genius.
I just can't imagine it. Like, it had to be some money on the table, and they're okay, well, let's just run another one.
But to address what Dusty said, like, yeah, okay, so the story was about like therapy and the therapist. Well, clearly this season is going in a direction where like therapy is no longer a thing. Jimmy is clearly not equipped to be a therapist anymore, or we'll see about that. But Harrison Ford's character, he's retiring, so he's no longer doing therapy. What's her name is not going to be doing
questioning herself because she lost a patient.
She's not only questioning herself, but she's not going to be a therapist in the way we've seen it. She wants to do
a trauma center.
Gabby, yeah, which is way different than what this is. So we'll still see probably the therapy angle, but just presented a little bit differently. Is what I would say to your thing. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I just think it's interesting that like they're choosing, for whatever reason, Marvin's probably right. At least that's for sure part of it.
Well, you know, The Bear had a similar season where they sent people off on their own journeys. Mm-hmm. Like one guy goes to like Sweden or some shit,
makes
and
croissants.
One guy goes, like they all. So it's probably gonna be something like that because they are gonna be in different places.
Yeah, she's going to college. His daughter.
She's going to college. The veteran guy is gonna be
working at a restaurant. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shows that go long
but across the country somewhere.
Yeah.
You don't watch many shows that go long, Dan. So I guess
I'm thinking of Scrubs. Scrubs went 9 seasons, and they
had to shift some every now and again, like Blue Bloods, cop shows that go 12, 20
Yeah,
seasons.
of course.
You have to shift.
Monk went a long time, but again,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
none of those shows really shift the like core structure of the show, this is what that feels like to me. That's why I think it's a little bit different. But
no, and I get it, and it remains to be seen, and hopefully you're right. But
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Like I said, we'll see. But
I think it'll be good. I mean, the show is good, the cast is good, the writing's great. Bill Lawrence is proven track record, so we'll see what happens.
Reason to be optimistic.
Worst case scenario is they just end it after that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about streaming services today. It turns out you've been overpaying for Netflix, folks, but now it's actually officially illegal. That's right, Marvin.
Netflix is illegal?
Yeah. Well, listen, it must be nice living in a country that isn't completely controlled by corporate interests. But a court in Italy declared that Netflix's recent price hikes from 2017 to 2024 were illegal and enacted without proper warning to customers. Netflix will be ordered to lower its prices in the country, and many Italian users may be entitled to compensation from the streamer.
Wow.
Thoughts?
That's like, what, 7 years, and we talk about 2 or 3 price hikes a year? That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That is. I wonder what was that price back in 2017?
Who the fuck knows? But we just talked about last week how they were raising their prices again.
$14.99.
Yeah, a Rome court.
$10.99.
$10.99? That's like $21.99, isn't it?
That's
the standard.
I'd pay for that shit.
Premium plan was $13.99.
Hey, you can't be producing bangers like War Machine on $10.99 subscriptions. That's for damn sure.
That's why I won't give up my Google Music subscription. I'm grandfathered in at $8. So
a Rome court has ruled as unlawful price increases imposed by Netflix on its Italian subscribers over the last 7 years and has ordered the U.S. media giant to reimburse them. A consumer association said on Friday. Consumer group Movimento, I don't know what the fuck that is. It's Italian, so sorry. Said it in a statement that the court had upheld its lawsuit against Netflix Italia and deemed unfair clauses that allowed subscription prices to increase from 2017 to January 2024. Netflix said in a statement that it would appeal against the court's decision. Quote, "We take consumer rights very seriously." Yeah, sure they do. And believe our terms have always complied with Italian laws and practices. So we'll see. I think this could be a big step forward for the world at large. Probably not, because the United States is the United States and we are a corporate entity under the guise of a democracy. But it's nice to see that in some places people are fighting back against corporate oligarchy, right?
Yeah.
And actually defending consumers for a change. So
foreign courts put weird rulings on American companies, and it generally never ever has any impact on us.
No, it won't have an impact on us, but I mean, it just must be nice to be Italian right now. That's all I'm saying. Getting a nice refund.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna appeal, so we'll see.
Wouldn't it be funny though if it's just credits for
oh my God,
your future subscription?
That would be funny.
So you
get 30 months free.
Yeah.
That would be funny. All right, let's go move on. Your last piece here.
Okay, yep.
What you got?
Here you got the last piece. Sam Raimi has done it again.
Oh, has he now?
I'm glad I found this article. Before its release, Send Help had a critic score of 93% on Rotten Tomatoes with around 60 reviews, tying it with Spider-Man 2 as his highest rated film ever.
Yeah, that's
with wild. The movie now ending its theatrical run and available on streaming, that score has held at now almost 300 critic reviews, still 93%. It's also his second highest audience score, tied with Army of Darkness at 87%, just behind Evil Dead 2, which is only 89%, 2 points higher. It will end its theatrical run with almost $100 million in global revenue 65 of that being domestic. So not a huge theatrical success in terms of revenue, but critical and audience acclaim. People seem to love this movie, and we're here to talk about it. So yeah.
People do seem to love it. So this is a movie, this tied a 22-year Rotten Tomato record for Sam Raimi, huh?
Yes, his best movie since Spider-Man 2.
Sam Raimi's best movie since Spider-Man 2. All right, well,
according to a couple hundred critics, it was 57 when this article came out, and I looked at it, and it's like 275 now, and it's still 93%.
All right, well, let's hold that up to a light and see what we think.
Let's see.
Thanks for the news, Dusty. Leave a comment down below, folks. Thank Dusty for the news. Let us know about any of the and give your input on any of the things that we covered here today. Move to Italy, get a refund on Netflix.
There's a VPN to subscribe to it.
Yeah,
and they get a refund.
Yep. All right, so let's get into today's review, folks. We're talking about Send Help, the latest from Sam Raimi, his most popular movie in 22 years. There you have it. I've seen a lot of people saying Send Help is a return to form for Sam Raimi. And on paper, this movie should absolutely work. And, I get why people are saying that. It has all the stuff that you'd expect. It's got that tone, his dark comedy. The whole setup feels like something that he would absolutely nail. And there are parts of this movie that I think are interesting, but the whole time I was watching it, I just kept waiting for it to come together or even just start working in general. And it kind of never really did for me. And I was actually pretty disappointed by this movie altogether because I was really excited for it. And I think that comes down to a few specific things that put this thing together, but we'll talk about it. Not somehow. I was going to say Dusty says this is his favorite movie of the year. So we're going to have some disagreements. This is going to be a good one. But like I said, this, I think, has all the ingredients that on paper this movie should 100% work, but somehow it just doesn't. So let's talk about it. This is directed by Sam Raimi, not written by Sam Raimi. Written by Damian Shannon and Mark Swift, who don't have a really good track record. They wrote Freddy vs. Jason, the Friday the 13th remake, and Baywatch. Some bangers, some below 6 rated bangers on IMDb. Although they all have, some of those movies have their own, are okay in their own
Cult
right.
followings, yeah.
Yeah, I like for Freddy vs. Jason. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
And we've got Rachel McAdams starring as Linda Liddy in this, and Dylan O'Brien as Bradley Preston. And Bradley is a executive to some, I don't know, whatever finance company, investment
Fortune
firm,
500 company.
He took over from his dad. He's a nepo baby. His dad passed away. He took over the company, and she's a bit of a savant. She's a math whiz, and she works in what was the department?
A tireless worker in logistics and
planning.
Logistics and planning. Yeah, but he keeps saying what is he said accounting. Yeah. But she's like a sort of humdrum, sort of like,
she's the heart and blood of the company and was promised the promotion.
She was promised the promotion to vice president, but visually she's not vice president material, as
certainly
as Bradley points out. She's a little bit
they
messy.
Drab her down.
She's got tuna fish on her lip. She's got messy hair. She kind of looks unkempt. Her personality, she's got a personality a lot like Kathy Bates did in Psycho. I mean, not Psycho.
Misery. Very misery coded.
Yes, very misery coded. So they have to go on a trip for work to Thailand, and their plane goes down in a storm over the ocean. And briefly in the beginning of the movie, we get a little bit of foreshadowing that she is really into the show Survivor. And while they're on the plane, her coworkers are kind of like watching her her audition tape for Survivor, and they're all laughing at her as the plane begins to go down. And so it's a funny little setup that like, ha ha ha, they were making fun of her because she wanted to be on Survivor. But it turns out she's actually like she has a lot of expertise in bushcraft and surviving and all this stuff. So this comes into play when he is severely injured in the crash, and she's the one that like sort of resuscitates him, and she builds camp and gets food and all this stuff. And that's kind of the setup for the movie. But he is sort of a bully to her, and he's just a bully in general. He's a cocky, pretentious, arrogant piece of shit Nepo executive who kind of treats her like shit and is making fun of her. But now the tables have turned, and she's the one in control, and she's the one in power. And that's sort of what the movie becomes, is sort of how power kind of corrupts even those of us who seem very innocent on the outside. So it's an interesting setup for what is essentially a survival thriller. This isn't a horror movie. I don't know why it's labeled as a fucking horror movie. Yeah. It is not a fucking horror movie at all. It's a thriller and a comedy, and that's about it. Dusty, let's start with you. Your favorite movie of the year, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, Sam Raimi nailed it for me. Yeah, it's a short year so far, but I love this movie in that it changed tonally several times, and you saw that. But yeah, I have trouble finding. It was hilarious. It was entertaining. It was enthralling. Kept me wondering where it was going to go next, who was going to do what. The lines were laying it up for you. Do you trust me? Or can I trust you? Like, there's just so much stuff to set up, so much great stuff. It just kept churning out entertainment for me. I loved this movie.
How about you, Marvin?
I thought it was funny. I mean, it was great to see Rachel McAdams again on screen. I think I haven't seen her since like Mean Girls. So
damn, that's a long.
What else she's really been in? I don't really watch.
She was in one with Harrison Ford, Morning Glory. Great movie.
She was in she was in Doctor Strange. She was in Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, she was in Doctor Strange?
Yeah, she plays his love interest. She was in.
I remember that, but I don't remember her that much.
She was in she's been in a bunch of stuff. She was in Southpaw, she was in Wedding Crashers. Like, there's a lot of stuff that she's in. She's a pretty prominent actress. She was in Game of Thrones, Sherlock Holmes, Midnight in Paris, bunch of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Big fan.
Okay. Yeah, good to see her. I enjoyed it too. I did think it was pretty funny, and it did have a bunch of tonal shifts. I felt like the first it was pretty strong, like the first 75% ish of the movie. I didn't really like how they made her get so corrupted in a way.
Yeah.
I see what they were going for with the ending, but I didn't necessarily like how they look what they did to my boy type of thing, I guess.
Her, you mean, or actually your boy, him?
No, her, her character, her.
Okay.
It was just like a play on like this crazy cat lady or crazy bird lady, I guess, in this case.
And you don't know who you're
to the
type
extreme,
of thing.
But yeah, and they just took it to the extreme, but it was very Sam Raimi-esque, so I'm really not mad at it.
I don't think it was.
Pretty good.
And that's where my problem comes in. This didn't feel like a Sam Raimi movie to me at all. But go ahead, what were you gonna say,
Really?
Dusty?
No, I think this very much felt like a Sam Raimi movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
there was some dynamics that I thought were fascinating, wherein, you're stranded on an island and obviously think, the man is the guy that survives, but it's not about brawn here. It's about brains. And you kind of see that early on in the movie where she's the hard worker. She does the numbers. Other people are taking credit for her work. And I think there's a note of if you do the work, you're going to be okay. And if you don't, people are going to rely on you, and they're going to use you, and they're going to abuse you. And you see that tonal shift where he gets better, and you begin to wonder, what's he going to do now that he's healthy and he could take advantage? He knows he needs her to live, but if he finds out that he can get away, is he going to kill her? Is he going to ruin her life? So I don't know. I think it's compelling the way he laid out this this storyline of this lady who, and you get into like their problems. You find out why she is the way she is, and maybe she is a little bit crazy. She gave her husband his keys and a drink and said, "Have fun," even though he was abusive, and she alludes to maybe he kind of even her that night. We don't know. And then he was abused as well, absentee father, because he was into his work. Mother was verbally abusive, physically abusive. So you kind of have this feeling for them. You get empathy in it. Well, apparently Dan didn't have any empathy for anybody. I don't know, but you kind of see this like, well, there are reasons why some people are the way they are, and that doesn't make their actions okay. But there's definitely, most people aren't inherently evil; they're made evil.
Yeah,
and I think you kind of see that in this, and you see this sort of Stockholm syndrome in both of them, which is why maybe the ending's not so great for you. But they're both in this desperate swirl to each other, where it gets to where the ending is, and you're like, okay, this is kind of crazy and ridiculous, but it's not unbelievable to me to think that that's where they'd go.
I didn't feel any of that.
Okay.
And I'm pretty surprised at you now. Now you like to scrutinize my opinions on a lot of things. You take great pride in like trying to make me question myself about things, and I'm going to do the same to you. You didn't like the best movie of the year, according to the Oscars, one battle after another. Nor did you like. Well, hang on.
No, it was good. It was good.
Hang on. You didn't like it as much as everybody else. Nor did you like Marty Supreme?
Like as much as anybody else.
I know, but Dusty had a specific reason, because none of the characters were likable. How the do you like these characters? Neither of these two.
He didn't say they weren't likable.
Yeah,
they weren't likable
because there was nobody. He said there's nobody likable.
He didn't say that. No, he didn't say that.
In Marty Supreme?
Oh, I'm saying.
No, I'm saying
this movie
criticized Marty Supreme and One Battle for not having likable characters, and I'm saying this movie also did not have likable characters. So I'm surprised.
You're saying.
Yes.
Well, you're.
Oh no, I found her character.
Your opinion on him though.
No, you're not. Yeah. No. I'm asking him. I'm saying I do not think that these characters were likable. They aren't likable. You don't like her by the end of this movie.
His character.
How could you like her? She killed an innocent woman.
His character is quite unlikable throughout. And he does a good job. He tries to redeem himself, but he comes across as unredeemable at every point. She comes across as somebody who is a hard worker, who is determined and gets just shit on. And so you have this quality of you're rooting for her, and you kind of learn maybe there's some things that she did because her evil bastard husband was also abusive to her. So she got herself out of that situation, but had like not rooting for her in that situation where like, okay, she's this survivor fanatic. So she's learned all these things.
I did root for her up until the point she smashed an innocent man over the head with a rock and threw her.
Yeah, well, that's where I get into. Yes, they have this dysphoric Stockholm syndrome where she's trying to live out this fucking. She's trying to live out this world that she wants to live in, that she's always fantasized about, and she has it, and she doesn't want to lose it. Like that. I get it. Yeah, she's terrible for doing that or allowing that to happen. But I mean.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get what they were going for, but I just don't think by the end of the movie you're like left with this like good for her type of like sentiment.
No, absolutely not. No, you're not supposed to. I don't think. That's the brilliance of Sam Raimi.
I don't think that's brilliant, really, because I think well, because you've argued too, like that to have a good, compelling story, you have to have a compelling character that you root for.
I thought she was.
That doesn't mean that you have to root for
Rachel
her the entire
McAdams
time, though.
Yeah,
you could root for her up to a certain point, and
but then what? What's the payoff? It's like, all right, well, she me over.
I mean,
she backstabbed me because
I was still.
Are you rooting for Walter White through the entirety of Breaking Bad?
No, but you wind up rooting for Jesse. It shifts.
Through some,
it shifts. You're like, oh,
but then who are you rooting for at the end?
Jesse. He's captured and being tortured, and he's like, "Oh, he got away. His life is he can get his life back together." That show is brilliant. We've talked about it a lot, is because it shifts the framing.
So you're rooting for the druggy loser who barely graduated high school.
Yes, to get
an
him
unlikable character.
To turn his life around, because by that point in the show,
But,
he is taking the steps to do that. She doesn't.
No.
Yes.
No,
what are you talking about?
No.
Are you kidding me? He was clean. He had a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, he was clean until he met Jessica Jones. I don't want to get into a whole debate about Breaking Bad, but he was getting clean and getting his life together, and then Jessica Jones got him back on the bandwagon with her heroin addiction. Then she died because of Walt being an asshole, which sent him off a cliff mentally, Jesse.
Kristen Ritter.
Yes.
Right?
Then he meets the Spanish chick and her son, and also continued to get his life back together. And because of Walt again, he goes off the rails. Then he gets captured by neo-Nazis and tortured to cook meth. And then he escapes because Walt finally has like a final like heart at the end, and Jesse gets away. That's why the ending of Breaking Bad is so compelling. This is not that at all.
Dan, junkies never get their life together.
That's not true.
It's an endless spiral of.
That's not true. I know
trying
a
to
lot
get your
of
life
people. No. Stop
okay.
right there. I know plenty of people that are in NA and have perfectly healthy lives for 30, 40 years. That's not true at all. But regardless, from a characterization standpoint, the movie, they build her up. You're supposed to root for her and be good for her, but then the movie shifts that, and it's like, well, now who am I rooting for? What was I rooting for this whole time? She's not a likable character.
I'm still rooting for her. That's what I said.
No, that's fair.
Maybe not as hard.
No, that's fair. She got knocked down a couple of rungs. Yeah, everybody slips up.
Corporate struggle.
Yeah, I understand what the movie was going for. I just don't think it really did it in an effective way. I don't know that was really a Sam Raimi issue. I think that was more of a writing issue. I don't think the movie was written very well. It was funny.
Oh, for sure.
It was funny, but I think the tonal shifts that you were praising, I think those were actually the movie's downfall. It was like too erratic, which is why when the number one praise of this is like, yeah, it's Sam Raimi, he's back. But like, I don't see that at all, because his older movies where he established this style of like kinetic camera movement and like black comedy and like dark tones, and it's like shifting from comedy to horror, like this wasn't as polished as his older movies. I think people might be a little bit like brain fogged because of Marvel, that he fell into the Marvel trap. Personally,
I just think maybe because it's not a horror is maybe why you had a little upset, because it was labeled as a horror and it's more of a comedy thriller with some.
Evil Dead 2 is one of my favorite movies ever. Army of Darkness is one of my favorite movies ever. Those aren't horror movies.
Those are more horror movies than this is.
No, yes, I'll give you that, but they're like slapstick comedy like that. But
there's like, you have the Dead-Eyed, so there's a horror.
I get it, but
intrinsic. Like the only thing you get out of this is like
that one
the
scene.
Hunting scene with the pig, which was hilarious.
The scene with like the ghost girlfriend.
I feel like out of all the things you mentioned, the only thing it maybe didn't have was like the kinetic camera movement. Like it hit all the other points.
It did a little bit in the beginning.
Sam Raimi. Just the beginning? Yeah,
it kind of lost it as the movie went on. Like in the beginning, they did like the tight zooms on her, on like the fucking tuna fish on her lip, and like there was that one camera movement when they go to like there's a couple on the beat. He didn't do it a lot, but like there was a couple of moments in the beginning of the movie that kind of went away. But yeah, like I just don't know. Like I think his last.
So you didn't. So just to focus on her for a second, because we keep talking about it, as like her husband died and she's in the office waiting for this final promotion, and she seems to be a happy person, even though she doesn't necessarily take care of herself, because it's not the environment that she wants to be in, because she desires to be a survivor. And you see her transform once she's on the island and she is thriving into a more beautiful,
absolutely
looking
100%, because she's
person.
In her element. Yeah, she's happy.
She's in her element. And so you'd like, that's the kind of stuff that I think is brilliant. And where like you see the asshole, like he is just not having a good time.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that made for some really funny moments. But then, I mean, maybe I had a little bit of some dusty gripes with it, but like, it just doesn't, like, nothing he did really made any sense. Like, what are you're gonna kill her to escape the island? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, building the raft in secret. Like that was a little bit stupid. Like he could have just said, "Hey, I want to leave."
And to be fair, I'm not being like you, where it's like I could totally detach myself from reality and be like, yeah, no, it's a fucking comedy, whatever. But it was just dumb the way they presented it. It's like, what was his goal? Like, why was he gonna kill her? It doesn't make any sense. He never. He
said he didn't mean to kill her. He just wanted to.
He didn't want to kill her.
No, I know. But why even do that? The movie never gave you the sense that like if they had given you the sense that he was aware that she was kind of making them stay there longer than they had to, then I would get it. Now he has to find a way to escape.
It was like they were trying to say that he knew that she was Kathy Bates' misery type, but they didn't really show it at all.
I didn't even get that. I just thought like, wow, he's just that big of a dick that he's gonna like poison her for no
he
reason.
wanted to leave. His main goal was to get off the island and find help, and he thought the best way to do that was to get on a raft. And she said, "No, stay the course. We have plenty of food here. We'll wait till somebody's find us." Yeah. And his thought is, what if nobody finds us and I'm stuck here with this crazy bitch this whole time? I want to get on a raft and get into the.
Oh,
like it makes.
But he never knew she was crazy at that point, though. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like a big plot hole.
Yeah,
sure.
I think it is a plot hole.
It's a plot hole, and it's a plot hole that like they didn't even like bother to fill in because when they were writing, like, it's a fucking comedy. Who cares? Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
it was like they needed
it's
this.
Not...
It was like they needed that to happen.
Yeah.
For her to show her crazy side,
yes.
which was like with the rat, but like without that happening, he wouldn't even know she was crazy. So it's like,
oh my god, that was such a
plot hole inception.
I was so disappointed. I was like. I was like, yes, now we're getting into some shit. She's cutting his dick off. Now she's
crazy.
This movie's crazy.
She's really misery.
And it's a fucking rat. I was like, come on.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
No, the first time she walked away from him and said, "Well, fuck you, do it yourself," and she comes back just in the time to give him the water and says, "Listen, I run this shit, not you. You be dead on the beach without me." That's when he realizes, oh shit, my life is in her hands.
That's a lot of inference to make, though. Like, yes, you get the sense like, yeah, okay, he knows, like, okay, my life is in her hands for sure. I need her to survive. But like, at no point did I think she was going to become a crazy bitch at that point, nor did he. So it's just like, that's why when I say it's tonally all over the place, because like, really,
anybody that would walk away from you and almost let you die from dehydration and come back.
That's not crazy. That's like something your mother would do. Of like, oh, you want to be a brat? Fine, you're gonna go to bed hungry.
No. If my boss was like that guy and it was like trying to be like, oh, you work for me, I'm like, yeah, I would just.
Yeah, of course, but that's not like being crazy. That's just like
that's not crazy. That's
anybody would
normal.
do that. Yeah, it's like,
I feel like most people would do that.
I mean, a vengeful person would walk away and let them die, not walk back and be like, hey, listen. If you want to do this, you got to listen to me.
That's less crazy.
I'm the one in charge. I don't know.
That's actually, I think that's very like level-headed of like, hey, you want to be a dick? All right, fine. See ya. And then you come back and it's like, see what happens if without me? Like, I think that's perfectly normal behavior. I don't think that's crazy.
Nah, that's the coming back part is a little crazy because it's like,
really?
It's like a whole manipulation thing.
Of course
you're trying to manipulate them to.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like a parenting tactic. It's like all right, you don't want to eat your peas? Fine, you're not going to eat it. And
it's
like
certainly unique because
most parents are crazy, which you just proved.
Yeah, but
it's certainly unique because there's only two of them and there's nobody else, so you can't just walk away and say, "Oh, I'll just go hang out with somebody else." Like it's just the two of you.
Crazy. I mean, come on. But no, I get it. I don't know. I just think the movie was a little bit all over the place. It didn't really ever sell like a lot of the things that it wanted to sell to me. Like I thought that, yeah, okay. Like I was on board. I was like, this is a cool movie. It's a survival movie. It's a thriller. It's not a horror, obviously. And now we have the shift in character. Like now she's in charge. Like this guy who was like rich and powerful in normal world is peanuts here on the island. That's a cool story.
But he's still trying to be in charge. Yeah. Like, why are you doing these things? No, totally. You should be doing these other things. Yes. She's like, oh, excuse me. You.
I think that's cool. And there was a lot of good comedy from that. There was a lot of playful banter.
And that was also
them.
Like corporate, like bigwig type thinking. Like, no, just look for the thing that washed up on the shore. The computers. It's like,
right.
You don't even know the beginning of how to survive.
You have no fucking grip on reality of like just like regular
somehow
people.
Like sometimes
I'm
like
the captain now.
Corporate bigwigs don't even know like the inner workings of like your day-to-day job. It's like the similar. So it was good how they kind of tied that into like he didn't know anything about what she's doing, and he still doesn't know anything about what she's doing when they're in a completely different setting. So I thought that was good too.
Yeah, no, the movie does some stuff well, but like, and I get the story that they're trying to tell. It is like this like hero to villain like thing, but I don't know. I mean, like when you get to an ending point where like it's the same criticism that you've made, Dusty, over like Marty Supreme and these other movies. It's like, well, there was no redemption here for anybody. So it's like, what did I watch? I just watched two people be shitheads the whole time. I'm very surprised that you don't feel the same way.
I was glad she won, though. Like, I was still glad that she won. Yeah, and she got the company.
But of course, you're somewhat glad that you won. Like, I was more glad. Of course, when the plane went down, I was like, haha, you, that guy getting smacked against the window.
That was so funny.
Like, yeah, there's some nice brutal, like, you know, not revenge, but in that vein, deaths in this movie that you would want.
Justice,
yes. There's some good justice that is served in this movie, but like the movie wants to flip the perspective.
Too bad. It was a little forced how they made her overly crazy. It was a little bit forced.
By the end of the movie, you're supposed to start rooting for him and not for her, and it did not do that effectively. That's the whole thing.
I'll never root for that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think that I agree with that. I think at the end of the movie, you're supposed to realize that she has become what she hated.
Yes, she became a monster. The whole point of the movie is how power corrupts, right? But they give you this guy's backstory for a reason. It's not just because they needed to fill the page. It's because they wanted you to empathize with him. It's like, oh, they have you literally said verbatim what the movie said. It's like people aren't born inherently evil. Where you're made that way. She was made the way she was because of her husband, and he was made the way he was because of his shitty parents. And so you're meant to then empathize with him and be like, okay, well, he's not really a piece of shit. It's just the way he was raised. So it's like once she flips and she's the fucking psycho bitch, that moment where she kills his fiance, spoilers, and the random Filipino guy that boated her onto the island, you're supposed to be like, oh, she's a villain now. I want this guy to survive, but you don't. I didn't.
No, I absolutely did. No. When they were pulling up and she was saying Linda, and she's standing there to leave, she's like, oh, I'm like, well, here's where it happens.
Yes,
this is where she. Yeah. This is where she crosses the line, and becomes what she hates.
Yes, but you're not understanding what I'm trying to say to you.
But you don't like that.
No, I get it. I'm simply saying it wasn't an effective flip because you still never feel you don't care about him. You're supposed to, but you don't.
No, you can not care about him and still see that she flips and turns into him at the same time.
I know she flips and turns into him. I'm not arguing that. I'm saying...
Yeah, you're arguing that somehow you're supposed to like him now.
Yes, there's supposed to be an emotional payoff, and there wasn't. That's the criticism. What do you mean, no? Of course you are.
No, I felt good when she ran.
No, you're not supposed to like him now. There's nothing in this...
The golf and the shit.
Oh,
yeah. There's nothing in the story that's supposed to make you like him.
Of course there is. What do you think they told you his backstory for? For shits and giggles?
No, to give you empathy and to show you that it can happen to anybody because they show you it happening to her as well.
I know.
Like you're not supposed to just automatically like, oh, this whole asshole who was an asshole the entire show, now I'm supposed to automatically like him. No, you're still supposed to dislike him.
I said you're supposed to have empathy for him and be like, oh shit,
no,
he's not the villain here. She is now. It flips the narrative.
No, he is also the villain.
Oh, God almighty.
It's not a flip. It's not a flip.
Of course
is what I'm trying to explain to you. It's not a flip.
So then you're just watching two pieces of shit have a final battle, and that's the end of it.
You're watching him in his final state as an asshole go out, and you're watching her turn into him.
Okay, so then my question is, why is that compelling?
Just the way that it happened, I think, because you're
then
on
that's just a matter of taste. Yeah, I don't think that's really compelling because I think they gave you his story, so you're supposed to empathize with him and be like, oh, okay, he's a piece of shit, sure, but it's not really his fault. Just like her state is not her fault. The moment she kills that guy and his fiance, you're supposed to be like, oh, okay, and now your perspective shifts. You're no longer supposed to be rooting for her. And then they revealed the rest of the plot twist that the island was inhabited by a rich guy on a mansion, and she could have left earlier, and she could have done all this stuff. And you're supposed to be like, oh, they don't just give you all that to be like, ha ha ha, see what happened? It's supposed to be like, oh man, she's a piece of shit. Because she was a piece of shit even before she
That's
hit the
not
fucking...
how the world works, though, Dan.
Well, the
It's
world certainly
compelling
doesn't-
because she's an undervalued, underestimated person.
I get that.
And she thrives in a situation
I get all
that
that.
nobody expected her to survive and thrive in. But she also stumbles her way into becoming the monster that she hated, that made her what she was in the first place. If that's not compelling, then I don't know what is compelling.
I don't think
it was fascinating the way she did it because of the survival aspect of it. I guess is maybe why I find like
I just don't think
she was the survival basics she was doing.
The transition could have been smoother, but I was compelled and I thought it was told the story pretty well.
I didn't feel that way, but I do agree. Like that's the reason why. I don't think it was told in a smooth manner. I think that's what it was, just tonally all over the place, and it just was it. I don't know.
I think it was told in a hilarious and thrilling Sam Raimi style.
No, I don't think this was Sam Raimi style. That's the other thing I wanted to get back to. That's like the number one thing that people are saying. It's like, yeah, it's a return to form. It's a return to form. I don't really see it. His last movie was in 2009. His last real movie, which was Drag Me to Hell, which is a great movie. I think people are a little bit brain fogged that there's been such a almost 20-year gap between movies that he's made between this and then, with the exception of Multiverse of Madness, which I can't count.
Did you see his style in that?
In what? Multiverse of Madness?
Yes.
There's glimpses of it, but clearly you could tell by that movie he was held back by the Marvel
And you don't
formula.
see glimpses of his style in this?
I see glimpses of it with the comedy, but that was about it. So when people say it's a return to form,
and the violence, what about the violence? I felt Sam Raimi to me.
I honestly didn't think it was effective at all because the CGI was just so fucking bad in this movie. and Sam Raimi's the guy that comes from a background of like masterful practical effects.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get past that. I was just like, this looks terrible. And there's stuff too that they could have easily done practical effects for that they didn't, like the fucking eyeball thing with the thumb. It's like why are you using CGI blood? I can't stand it. It's so ugly looking.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a budget issue.
Yeah, no, I know it is. I just I don't know, the return to Sam Raimi. I don't know. This wasn't that for me. But I'm glad you guys liked it. I mean, I really wanted to. Like, I didn't want to go into this not liking it. I was like so disappointed by the end. I was like actually upset when after I watched it. I was like I didn't like.
I'm disappointed I didn't go to the theaters to watch it.
Yeah, this might have been a fun movie to watch in theaters, but like I don't know. It's just I think the main things for me is that like just like tonally again, it was just all over the place, and that's fine, but. There's a whole like the whole middle of the movie like too like drags a little bit too when they're on the beach, like it starts to drag a little bit after she like
you're saying that. That's
not in time, just in like in what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like this huge gap between like him recovering to like them starting to get chummy to realizing that he's not really chummy, and like I don't know. It was just bizarre. It was just a bizarre way. It felt weird. It just felt weird and off to me. I don't know.
I will grant you this, Dan, that I think there are parts in the story that are either easy or simple in how they get, not they as in the characters, but the narrators of the story get from A to B. But I think if you go back and you watch some of the things that happen in some of his older movies, like it's pretty simple and easy too. I don't. When you say it's not Sam Raimi, like there are things that happen in Evil Dead or Army of Darkness or any of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, well, how do we get here? Oh, that was pretty dumb, but yeah, we got there. Sure. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think there's more Sam Raimi in here than you realize.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I didn't feel it. I don't think if I showed you this movie and I didn't tell you who directed it, would you be able to say this is a Sam Raimi movie? I don't think so.
I would say it felt like a Sam Raimi film. Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think the Spider-Man movies feel like a Sam Raimi movie. So it's like, you know.
Well, no, but I would say the Sam Raimi comic book movies.
People are saying this is a return to Sam Raimi's style, which he departed from with the Spider-Man movies, with Multiverse of Madness. So people are specifically saying that this is his style that made him a cult cult.
I don't
follow a cult icon because of Evil Dead and Army of Darkness and those early films of his. This was not that. It just wasn't.
I think it has
hints
stylistically
of it.
similar.
It had hints.
Yes, it
had hints.
Stylistically,
right.
It is. This is a new era of Sam Raimi filmmaking that is stylistically close to a little bit of everything that he did in the past. Is it his greatest work? No, absolutely not.
No.
Is it a top 5? Probably not.
No. Yeah, no.
But it's still my favorite film of the year so far.
Well, that's fair. It's been a short year
because Sam Raimi is a good filmaker, and I like it.
He is a great filmmaker. That's why I'm disappointed by this. I don't think. I
respect your not liking it, by the way.
Like, what are the other thing?
I think it's fascinating to me that you don't think it's Sam Raimi.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't. I mean, it is esque. It has his DNA slightly, but it's not. Again, I'm trying to scrutinize the claim that everybody's making of like, yeah, he's back in form, baby. Like he did the Marvel thing and now he's back. Like, I don't really see that. Do you honestly see that in this? If so, that's fine. I'm just curious. Do you honestly think that?
I would say this is more of a hybridization of his Marvel films and his previous films.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay, thanks.
It's a hybridization of the two.
That's a more honest, accurate.
I'd agree.
Take.
Yeah. I'm not one of the people that says this is a return to
I wasn't saying you are. No.
Traditional Raimi, Evil Dead. Like this is his best. Like I wouldn't. Still my favorite movie, but not even his best.
Genre,
not his best.
So it's a way different genre.
Yeah, it's not going to feel the exact same as Evil Dead because it's not straight up horror.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, maybe I fell for the trailer a little bit because the trailer did straight up show this as like it was a horror movie. The trailer was better than the fucking actual movie, in my opinion. The trailer made it like this is going to be a horror version of that movie with Tom Hanks. Was that? Castaway.
Mm-hmm.
Which on paper is a fucking awesome premise. Like that would have been cool. Like I thought this was going to be like a Green Hell the movie kind of thing. And think about that game and how effective that game is with just little stuff. Like they could have been having like weird psychological issues.
When they went in the cave and you saw the spiders in the background on the spider house, and like, somebody's getting bit. And then
but like nothing really happened.
Nothing happened. So I guess where Sam Raimi dangles something in front of you and then doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Like nothing really happened. Like she hunts a boar. And like the story is that she becomes the boss, and but it's more than just becoming the boss. It's like being in control, having power corrupts. That's the whole narrative. He's corrupted because he's the CEO. She's corrupted now because she's in this power over him. Her husband was in power over her, so he was a abusive piece of shit. The whole movie is about power dynamics and how that is corrupting. And I get it all, but just by the end of the movie, I'm like, well, I didn't have anybody to root for at the end of the movie. And so
it's a lesson, I guess. It's what is it? The pictures on the wall. And because that was the story that they were telling, I don't think her turn was really effective. It was like way too out of character for her, I think, in the beginning of the movie. And like, so I don't know, based on what the movie showed me, I don't know what my final feeling was supposed to be. Like, am I supposed to be like, you go, girl? Like, because I don't have that at all. Okay, so I guess what I found fascinating about her growth is that she seemingly was comfortable in the situation, obviously, but tried to do the right thing and be the right person of, hey, look, you're not in charge. I know what's going on. I'm the one who saved us. Please listen to me. Guy's still an asshole. So she's just failing to get her point across to this that won't listen to her. Yeah, and so she slowly falls into this like manipulative, you're not going to listen. Well, I will make you listen. Like it's slow, but it's obvious, but it makes sense to me.
Where are you at, Marvin? Where did you fall? Like, did you have any of the same feelings as me or no?
Like I said, I thought the transition could have been smoother.
Of her decline, you mean? Of like her transition to being bad? Okay.
Yeah. But they definitely, you picked up on the hints pretty early of her
That's what I was
manipulative behavior and like her quest to prove him as being, like not adequate in whatever role they were in on the island. So
that's what I was just going to say to Dusty.
It just went a little too quick. Like it just was a little too fast.
That's what I was just going to say to Dusty, because they present you with a woman who you're supposed to she was pushed to her breaking point by this guy. But that is not the case, because by the end of the movie, you understand that she was crazy prior to this ever happening.
Sure.
You remember she oh, the cute guy who talked to me at the party, blah, blah, blah. And she had this fantasy that she was going to become the vice president and they were going to fall in love and all this stuff. She carried that to the beach.
It wasn't a fantasy. She was promised
that she was going to fall in love with him.
That she was going to become vice president.
Yes, but she had the fantasy that he was cute and that he was hitting on her at the party and they were going to be together. So she carried that fantasy to the island with her. And so she's not just power tripping that she's in control and she's the one calling the shots. She's also trying to Annie Wilkes him. That she's like obsessed with him and she doesn't want him to leave. And so that's what I don't think the movie really did well, is it gives you like both sides of it, but it doesn't commit to either. And so like clearly
she wasn't obsessed with him like in a romantic way.
I think she was.
I think she was obsessed in being more powerful than him.
I don't
scenario. I don't think she actually cared about him romantically at all.
I think the power dynamic was the dominant narrative, but I do think they tried to sneak in that sense of that she was obsessed with him, because they have that whole dinner and she's like thinking it's like a romantic dinner and that they were going to get close to one another. And it had this like feeling of like, finally I'm going to he's going to fall in love with me type of thing. That's why she was duped by him to begin with. She let her guard down.
Maybe it was more matriarchal. He's going to let me take care of him and realize that I can do these things. I don't know.
But that's the problem, right?
Be romantic undertones. Well, I mean, I get that. This is a hard one because you really can't purvey what's going on over the course of several weeks because they're spending every day together, every minute.
Well, you can if it was written a little bit better and presented a little bit better, a little bit more clearly. That's all I'm saying. It just wasn't clear. A lot of the stuff wasn't clear. It's like it goes from like stuff happening to nothing happening to then stuff happening again, and then it ends and you're just like, oh, well, I watched two pieces of shit just like duke it out at the end of the movie. Which was fun, but like again, nothing really like the whole shotgun thing didn't really make a lot of sense to me too at the end.
That was a callback to whatever her department was. She says something in planning. So she planned it all out.
Yeah, but that seems a little elaborate.
She knew that he would grab.
I'm gonna threaten you with an empty shotgun and then let you steal it from me just to show you that I was a step ahead of you. Like, I don't know, it's weird.
But that goes that harkens back to the I gave you the opportunity. There's like, can I trust you? And
I know.
She tried a couple of times and he continued to prove himself untrustworthy.
I get it. And he's not trustworthy, but
she became him.
Neither is she.
The judgmental evil person who will kill for power. Yeah.
You didn't feel bad for him when he discovered that his fiance was killed?
No.
Okay. But you felt bad for him.
I did.
But you felt bad for her.
I mean, in what context?
Just the whole context of the movie.
I not necessarily felt bad for her. No, I found her story compelling, but I didn't necessarily feel bad for her.
Fair enough. Hey, listen.
She was thriving in her environment. There's no reason to feel bad for her. She was in the position of power.
I mean, she was a bit of a fraud. I did start to feel that she was a bit of a fraud.
She was a fraud. She wasn't even surviving.
She was just getting fruit from the house.
From a house,
like
from a mansion.
To get these fruits, but they were just. She was from
from Jeff Bezos' fucking house on this island that's just forever stocked because he could show up at any time. That's what I'm trying to say, dude.
But that was the convenience of it because she could have survived. She could have survived out there. Well, I mean, maybe not.
Maybe not as
she knew how to fucking rub sticks together, and she got lucky and killed a. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like the narrative is all over the place. Like it gives you things and then takes them away, and gives you things and takes them away. It's like, it's just rattling. It's jarring because you don't know what to feel by the end. That's my whole point. It's like, it was cool that she was able to survive and that she was like, that they doubted her and that she was actually a legit badass. That was cool, but then they took it away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got exposed.
But that's the reality of things in most cases.
I know that, but I'm saying that's a totally different movie. So that's why it's all over the place.
Okay.
Which movie did you want to show us? Like,
I thought it was great.
And it wasn't even that. Honestly, the ending too. Like, it's supposed to be this big twist. It wasn't really that big of a twist, if I'm being quite honest. Like, as soon as she finds the knife, it's like knives float up on shore. Like, what? And the big X on the island. That's just like,
that was so funny.
Don't go over there. It's like, all right, we get it. She's bringing back fruit baskets and like sushi and shit. It's like, give me a break. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, this is why we do this, right? Not everything's going to be for everybody. I'm surprised that I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to. I really thought I really wanted to like this. I wanted to like this, so I didn't just go into this like with trying to be a hater, but it is what it is. It's getting good praise though. It's got a 6.9 on IMDb. I'm not there. This was just mid for me. This is a 5.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, I did not enjoy it. I'll be honest.
Crazy.
I enjoyed bits and pieces.
I had a couple gripes myself, but it's still like an 8 for me.
8? Damn, that's a bump.
Yeah, I give it an 8 too. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Great.
It's still like an 8 for me.
What's your biggest gripe?
My biggest
Marvin?
gripe was just like the transition from. It just wasn't smooth enough. It felt a little forced of just her turning into the crazier version.
Yeah, it was just very out of character. I mean, that's what, again, that's like, I say out of character, but then also it's in character because they drip feed you little bits and pieces of the fact that, like, no, this bitch is crazy. So like, I don't know where I was supposed to be at what point in that's really my whole thing. So I don't know. It is what it is. Maybe I'll rewatch it someday and get a better, have a better opinion of it. But I think it's a little bit overhyped.
I felt sorry for her, and I was compelled to root for her, even though I knew she was going to become the bad guy.
Yeah, no, you do root for her until, again, she hits that poor guy over the head with a rock for no reason.
Yeah.
I kept rooting.
Like, I kept.
He was like an NPC.
Yeah, I kept rooting.
Like, she could have just been like, "Nah, he's dead, and I want to stay on this island." Like, she didn't have to kill the. I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know, but I'm glad you guys liked it. Yeah, I'm a tough customer.
I don't really understand how she, how his fiance ended up buried beneath the sand.
Right?
That part didn't really make sense
Nope.
to me.
But because she fell off the cliff, maybe, I don't know. Impact.
That's not. But that's not how beaches work.
Oh,
no, that's not how beaches work. I just
maybe
took
it was
as
weeks
like,
later or something.
You don't know. There's
really
no sense of time in the movie. It's just,
yeah. We know several weeks go by.
Several weeks go by, but that's about it. Best part of the movie was the plane crash. That was well done. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the plane crash and the initial survival was pretty good.
Yeah.
They did a good job of doing the right things as far as survival techniques.
Yeah.
But that's it for us, folks. Let us know what you think of Send Help. Which side of the aisle do you fall on? Am I way off base here, or do you agree with me? Do you agree with Dusty and Marvin? What's your take? Leave your thoughts down below. We do this once a week. What are we doing next week?
This does feel like a love it or hate it film, though, to be honest.
Yeah, it does have that feeling. Oh, next week is the Secret Agent. Tentatively might change that up.
Didn't something come out or something?
Scream 7. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh boy.
Yep. We'll see. But folks, if you want to be in the know about what we're watching, we usually post our schedule in advance for the entire month. You could check our schedule on Discord. It's free to join. The link is down below in the description on our website. So feel free to join. Come say hi to us. Last week we watched. What did we watch last week?
Make Marvin watch.
Oh yeah, last week was The World's Fastest Indian. That was the Dusty pick. It was Marvin's first time watching it, and it was my first time watching it, and we loved it.
So good.
So if you want to go check out that
I'm on the hunt for more of those.
if you want to check out that episode, there'll be a link right up there shortly. You can click on that. But in the meantime, we will catch you next week. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Leave a like on the video if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe if you have not done so already. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, follow the show. You can leave comments over there and leave a rating and all that good stuff. So we appreciate you. We'll catch you next time.
See you.
Hasta.